Please call the medic, this beat came to me on a stretcher. In the lab, I step to the mic and feel like I'm Dexter. I'm a man, dark world, but I'm still shining like treasure. Yeah, I got joy like ha ha ha. Wait, and I can't wear smiles, that's fake. Then I'm between love and strong. Hate clock says no time for mistakes. Ring the alarm, sirens go off, but I'm calm. My life resides in his palm. Submit to my pops, respect for my mom. Honor them both, so my life will be long. Third time, get the charm of the third strike. Had to.
What's going on, American truckers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper. And I am your boy, I'm Old Snapper. We're going to talk about super truckers and the term super trucker, what it means, what some people have coined it to mean, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just get into my basic opinion of it. I'm in my 14th year. I might know what a super trucker is and what a super trucker ain't. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I really think a lot of it is based on opinion. One thing I can say, though, is if your view fits in with the world right now, it's probably wrong. There are some channels that that's their claim to fame. Their claim to fame is making fun of super truckers. Hey, I can't knock it. That's freaking awesome. They found a niche. It works. The viewers like it. It's funny. Go for it, man. Whether it's what they really believe, whether it's what they don't believe, who knows? As a creator, you want to make content that makes people react. Like, I'm really good at doing that with shorts. I make some really dumb shorts, right? I got shorts that are like, my trainer said, I got a series of those. I got shorts that are just the dumbest thing you could ever possibly think of. And anybody that knows me, anybody that's been watching my channel knows it's not real. Because I've been driving way too long not to know what tandems are. But it gets a reaction. And it feeds on insecure drivers or insecure people, because insecure people will see it and their first thing is to put you down, because that's what an insecure person does. An insecure person puts others down to make themselves feel better. It's basic, real basic. There's a lot of it online. I'm really good at stirring them up, more so on TikTok and Facebook than I am on YouTube. There hasn't been too many places in life where my partying when I was younger and all the drugs I did has benefited me. But social media is one place that it has benefited me. Because if I read comments and I remembered what someone said in a comment, I would probably need to talk to a psychiatrist by now. All right, because I know I get some really bad ones, and I'll know I had a bad one, you know, but I don't remember it a minute or two later. Like, I can go look at TikTok. I probably have 50,000 people talking trash to me. And you can ask me 2 minutes later what that comment said, and I do not remember. See, there was a point in time on my YouTube channel that I was going to take comments, crazy comments, and put them at the end of segments, and then kind of make fun of the comment, right? But I quit. I did it in 1 or 2 videos, and then I quit doing it. The reason being is, I don't remember what someone said. I'll remember there was a comment I wanted to go use, but I can't remember what video it was on, and I can't remember what it said. All that smoking pot and cocaine totally destroyed my short-term memory. I write everything down. Like, I literally write my entire day down. If I'm going to clean my truck that day or whatever, I make a list. Because if I don't make a list, I'll forget it. You know, my memory, no good. No bueno. It sucks. But that benefits the heck out of me on social media, because if you cuss me out, we can still be friends tomorrow, because I'm not going to remember that comment. I'm not going to remember it. All right. There's been other people make bad videos on me, you know, and I know that they made bad videos on me. But if you were to ask me what they said or what they went after, I have no idea. Don't remember. I don't remember it normally within videos. When someone does that, I normally forget in a day or two what exactly it was. With a comment, it don't take me long at all. 2 or 3 minutes and I won't remember. So that's been really beneficial to me. Now I'm over here getting unloaded, so there's a little bit of noise. I don't know. I got these earbuds in. Hopefully they don't pick up a whole lot of the background noise, but we're gonna get off into this. I think what some people coin as a super trucker is actually just a trucker that does their job, to be honest with you. I don't know what your idea of a super trucker is, or what another creator's idea of a super trucker is, but when I really listen to it, it comes down to someone who does their job, someone who takes pride in doing their job. So if you do your job and you take pride in doing your job, in my opinion, that's what some people will coin as a super trucker. Because we live in this day and age where everybody tries to do as little as possible. They'll put down people that are doing their job and doing it properly to make themselves feel better. Like that's the wrong way to go. I'll give you a good example. I don't turn my CB on very often. It's just too toxic. It's too much BS on there. And it's the same 3 conversations anywhere in the country right now. I guarantee you, if you turn your CB on right now and you're in any city in the United States, you're going to have somebody saying audio. You're going to have somebody saying they ain't got no panties on. You're going to have somebody griping about schools messing up the industry. And you're going to have somebody talking about how trucking was better 35 years ago. That's it. That's the only conversations there are on there. And then you might have 1 or 2 people in the background telling somebody to shut up. Shut up, stupid, or shut up, dummy. You're better off doing an 8 ball of cocaine than you are listening to a CB radio. Because a CB radio is going to kill your brain cells because it's dumb as shit. It is the dumbest conversations. I swear every time I turn it on, I get stupider. I mean, and that's honestly why I don't turn it on. And I honestly, I don't knock drivers for not having a CB radio or not using a CB radio because of that reason right there. And the same people that'll knock drivers for not having a CB radio are the same ones that'll be on the CB radio talking stupid, running other drivers off the radio and then wondering why they don't have one. Doesn't make any sense. But one of the things I heard on the CB radio was there was this guy in the fuel aisle and he was putting on his gloves to put fuel in his truck. And somebody came across the radio and they said, "Oh God, we got another super trucker here. He's putting on gloves. He's putting on gloves, y'all, just so he could put fuel in his truck. He can't get his little hands dirty." And I thought to myself, how stupid is that? I mean, how stupid do you have to be in order to get on a public broadcast, a radio, and make fun of somebody who's actually doing something properly? And that's the world we live in. That's why I said earlier in this video, if you fit in with the world, if your views align with the world, it's probably wrong. I put on gloves, to put fuel in my truck too. A lot of drivers do. The reason being is you get oil on that handle. There's grease sometimes on it. You don't know what the driver before you, what he does with his hands, and he touched that thing. How many people touch on things on a daily basis? It's not being a germaphobe or anything like that. It's common sense. Not only that, but you get that grease on your hands or whatever. Now you got to go find somewhere to clean your hands off before you touch your door handle on your truck. Because you touch a door handle on your truck to get back in your truck, now that grease or oil or whatever is on your door handle. You climb up in your truck, it's on your steering wheel. And I don't know if you've ever done it before. If you get that stuff inside your truck, you will spend weeks trying to get it all out. And it don't take but just a little bit of it. To make fun of somebody who's doing something that's actually pretty smart it's dumb as hell. But that's a super truck. I mean, that's what they call a super trucker. My idea of a super trucker would actually probably be an ignorant driver is what it would be, or a selfish driver would be, in my opinion, would be a super trucker. Like when you're going down the interstate and you got 2 trucks that are taking way too long to pass each other or get by each other or whatever. One truck's doing a half mile faster than the other and they got cars lined up behind them. That's usually whenever I think to myself, oh, here we go. We got a super trucker here. I don't know about y'all, but I don't pass that many people. And it's not because I'm in a slow truck. I'm in 68. I mean, it's probably about average for the industry right now. But I don't really pass that many people. Even prime. A lot of times if I run up on you, you probably got to be doing lower than 60 before I even worry about it. I'm not even worried about it. I'll slow down. I run 62 sometimes, 64, and just kick back there behind you. I'm not worried about going around you. You got to think over a 10-hour period. If you run a solid 10-hour period, every 1 mile per hour is only 10 miles. It's not that big a deal. You're not going to get that much further You're stressing yourself out throughout the day. That's why you'll see truck drivers out here that are 30 years old and look like they're 60. Because they spend their day stressing themselves out and there's no reason for it. It's stupid. If you're working for a company where you got to run like that in order to make a paycheck, you're working for the wrong company. I'm just going to tell you straight up. That's your fault, nobody else's fault. Or if you're not planning your day out and you're leaving too late or you're stopping too much and that's making you have to run like that so you can catch up and not be late, that's your own fault. That ain't nobody else's fault. That's your own fault. Plan your day out, leave a little earlier, and you won't have to run like that. I don't run like that. You can ask anybody, ask any student I've ever had, and they will tell you I am the least stressed person going down the road. The only time I get stressed out is when my GPS is wrong, the address is wrong, or something like that. Now, I did one time in New Jersey lose my cool and throw a brand new Ram McNally GPS out the window while going down the highway. It was wrong, and it had me jacked up. It had me in a position where, like, I got low bridges around me, and I got train tracks I can't go over, and I got closed routes. I got it had me in a really bad spot up in Newark, New Jersey. I thought I was going to end my career that day. I was in a really bad spot, and due to my partying when I was younger, I don't remember how I got out of it, but I got up out of it. But this super trucker, let's talk trash about people that are doing their job. I don't get that, but I think it's pretty cool that people, there's certain channels that have made a YouTube career out of doing that. One thing I have learned is that it's easier to get a negative reaction than a positive one. Because I've done shorts. I can do a positive short with some good information in it. It won't get any views. It won't get any comments. It won't get any likes. It does very little. I can make a dumb short that I know is going to get the most negative comments that there is. Oh yeah, it goes wild. It'll go absolutely nuts. Because people respond to negativity more than they do positivity. That's the reason our news, like if you watch the mainstream news, that's the reason it sells negativity. It sells panic. It sells worry. It sells all that, because that's what people are buying. People will buy that far more than they will buy anything positive. No one cares about the puppy that got saved. They want to hear about the puppy that got ran over and dragged down the road for 3 miles. So we taught the media in general to give us that type of news because that's what we watch. We do the same thing on YouTube. You as a viewer, you teach us what you want to hear by what's getting the most reaction. Whatever's getting the most reaction, that style or that topic is what's gonna run on. Same thing in shorts. That's why if you really don't like what someone said and you don't want to promote it, the best thing to do is not comment on it at all. Don't comment on it, don't like it, and go on. Because every comment and every like, if you're in YouTube or TikTok or even Facebook, it promotes that video. It bumps it up in the algorithm. The more it gets, the more reaction it gets, the more it bumps up in the algorithm. So if you truly don't like what someone said, the best thing to do is ignore it. Like on TikTok, I do this on TikTok a lot. I don't do it on YouTube so much, and I don't do it on Facebook so much. Honestly, on Facebook and Instagram, I don't even read those comments 95% of the time. But on TikTok, sometimes if I'm bored, I don't have a lot going on, I'll go in there and I'll just start arguing with people in comments. And honestly, I don't care. Sometimes I'm laughing on the other end, but I'll just argue. Whatever I think's going to make them come back and make a response. Because every time they come back, that gives that video another view. Every response kicks it up in the algorithm. So the more you do that, the more it kicks that video up. I got videos over there that have done 500,000 views. And if you go look through the comments, because I was arguing with 50 people. I was talking crap back and forth with 50 people. That's why. That's what kicked that video up. So it works really well over there. I don't argue with people so much. I've tried it a few times on YouTube, but it doesn't seem to work as well. YouTube likes organic responses. It likes more of just the public responding to the video, not the public responding back and forth with the creator. Whereas on TikTok, it works really well, the public responding with the creator. Anyway, what's your idea of a super trucker? What to you would be a super trucker? And is it someone actually doing their job? If you really sit back and think about it, before you comment and say what your idea of a super trucker is, think about it. Is it somebody that's actually doing their job? Or is it somebody really doing something stupid? Like, I can tell you, one time I saw someone doing something pretty dumb that I thought was super trucker style. You know, and this guy wasn't doing his job. I was in orientation at Creek Carriers one time in Wilmer, Texas. There was an older driver, and when I say older, he was probably in his early 60s. The orientation at Creek, if I remember right, it's like 3 or 4 days long. Throughout the entire orientation, this guy wore driver gloves. What I call driver gloves are those gloves that you put on where the tips are cut out of the fingers. All right. The entire orientation, the whole thing. Whether we were driving, whether we were in class, whether we were out in the smoke area, whether we were eating lunch, he never took those driver gloves off. I thought that was freaking hilarious. Now, to me, I was thinking, yeah, super trucker 101 right there. You know, to me, that would be a super trucker. You also got to remember, too, that trucking damages the mind. And it damages the mind in several ways. One, it damages the mind from inactivity. There's not a lot stimulating the mind after you've been driving for a little while. Another way it damages the mind, and it did it more so when we were on paper logs than it does now that we're on e-logs. But you can actually go look this up. When you miss sleep, it damages the mind. It kills brain cells. It's no different than doing drugs, alcohol, huffing paint. When you stay awake long periods of time, it messes with the neuroreceptors in the brain, and it kills brain cells. It can give you legitimate brain damage for staying awake too long. That's why I don't get these guys that want to run these wild, crazy hours, you know. That's one of the reasons I don't like frac sand. I do not like hauling frac sand because you got to run around the clock in order to make money. Especially if you're running in Texas, because you're running Texas oil field exemption, you're only taking an 8-hour break. You're running the rest of the time. You'll take your 8-hour break waiting to unload. Or while you're unloading. You know, you'll put yourself on sleeper, creep over to the place where you're unloading at and unload from the pad. So you get very little sleep if you're making money running frac sand. You're not doing anything but damaging your health. You're damaging your mind. And that's no good. There's no amount of money out here worth damaging your mind. None whatsoever. I don't care what you're doing. Doesn't make sense to me. And especially this little bit of money that we make, it ain't worth killing brain cells and becoming dumb over. But there's a lot of drivers that think it is. So by all means, go for it. But when I look at you crazy because you're standing in line talking something stupid and you don't even realize it because you've killed too many brain cells, that's your own fault. I just kind of wanted to get on here today and talk about a super trucker. You know what a super trucker is, in my opinion. And in my opinion, most of the time what someone's calling a super trucker is someone that does their job. Now, there's a lot of insecurity in trucking. You can see that in the comments. If you go look at the comments on any video, you're going to find insecure people. Insecure people will try to put the creator down, or they'll try to put other people down in the comments. That's basically just insecure people. That's all that is. 99.999% of the time. So if you make a comment and someone comes along talking trash, don't even worry about it. That's that other guy or girl's problem. They're probably insecure. Don't even stress yourself over it. That ain't you. But I think I've held y'all up here long enough. Y'all take care. Stay safe. I appreciate all of you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And let's keep trucking.
Please call the medic. This beat came to me on a stretcher. In the lab, I step to the mic and feel like I'm Dexter. I'm a man, dark world, but I'm still shining like treasure. Yeah, I got joy like ha ha ha. Wait, and I can't wear smiles, that's fake. Then I'm between love and strong. Hate clock says no time for mistakes. Ring the alarm, sirens go off, but I'm calm. My life resides in his palm. Submit to my pops, respect for my mom. Honor them both, so my life will be long. Third time, hit the charm of the third strike.